For tonight, and I'm so happy to see all of you in large numbers coming out. It is the final night of the Katha. Tomorrow night we have question and answers. So it's doubly good. Why? Because your questions will be answered tomorrow. But before we see that, let us continue to see the beautiful pages of Ramayana. Param punita na jaye taji kiye prem bad papu. Param punita na jaye taji kiye prem bad papu. Pragati na kahata mahishu kachu हृदय अधिक संताप हृदय अधिक These are the words of Lord Shiva to himself. Whenever we're faced with a difficulty in life, my dear friends, what should we do? We should remind ourselves of our moral values. Isn't that true? When we're faced with a problem, it's very easy to turn the other way. Oh yeah, this thing is too difficult for me. Let me go the other path. Right? And especially to our youth. When there's a little bit of difficulty in life, what is the tendency? To run the other way, right? To run the way that we're not accustomed to, in order to do what? To nullify the effects of pain. And in college and high school, we all know what happens. Friends influence each other not for the good way. As a matter of fact, if your friends tell you a good thing, guess what happens? You end up losing that friend, or you tell a friend a good thing. Say your friend is going the wrong way, and you try your best to correct them. What happens in the process? You end up losing that friend in the process. Isn't that true? It happens to all of us. That's why the older you get, the lesser amount of friends you have. Because you correct them, and what happens? Gone like the wind. Isn't that true? And what kind of friend is that? Do you remember? Say it together. F-A-I-R, weather friend. That person, you know, when you have that new BMW that mom and dad bought you, new BMW, that person's right in the passenger seat, riding with you. The moment that BMW is taken away and the BMX is given, you know what a BMX is? BMX is a bicycle. When that bicycle is given to you because you've done something wrong, right, and the BMW is taken away, where's that friend? Gone like the wind. You see? So at the time of difficulty, when we aim to analyze our own life, we understand that we must introspect. We must dissect. And what was the methodology that we learned the other night? Especially for the youngsters that weren't here. The stop methodology, right? What is that methodology? What is it? Say it loud.
Stop.
Everyone together. Stop. So when you're driving and you see a stop sign, I hope you don't look at the sign the same ever again. S means what? Analyze how serious your problems are, especially youngsters. Their problems may seem great, but wait till you get into real life. Those are the real problems. So analyze how serious their problems are. Then T, what is it? Think about how you got there in the first place, right? When we get into a problem, as I said before, it's easy to point the fingers. Remember the last 2 nights we saw? We point fingers that way, to that person, to that thing. But look at where the 3 fingers are pointing right back at you. It was your choice, it was your conscious effort to get yourself into that problem in the first place. So think about how you got there. Then after you think about it, what should you do? O. O is what?
Options.
Analyze your options, the ways out of it. You see what happens is, in life when difficulties are too much, and you won't understand unless you had a difficulty. And how many of you have had difficulty in your life? Raise your hand. All of us have, especially if you live in New York like me. Difficulties every day. You have to catch the bus, then you have to catch the A train. Those trains never come on time. You miss your stop, you're late for school, you're late for your work, and then you get fired. This is how it happens. This is the krama. So in life, what happens is, when things seem too difficult, understand that there's always a way out. Instead of taking the bus and train, you drive yourself. This is the thing. Even though you're stuck in traffic, you give yourself enough time. But this is a very simple example. All of us go through way more serious things in life, especially youngsters these days. With this technology, they land themselves into trouble soon. This is why you have to be very vigilant as a youngster. Be very vigilant in life. Of what? Who is around you, the situations, and the places you're going. Okay? So when you get into some sort of trouble, in the mind or otherwise, what should you do? You analyze your options out. And with good friends, what should you do? Start planning for what? A brighter tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow is a new day. It is as simple as that. What's today's date? The 11th of December 2015. This day has not come for any of us. Therefore, if you were going through a problem in the past, make it your conscious effort now, as the bhajan said. What does it say? Aao sajale aaj ko. Come today and decorate today to the fullest. Why? Because yesterday is the dead past. Tomorrow is what? Unborn. Do your best now to do what? Plan for a brighter tomorrow. Okay? Then we see here, Parama Punita Najai Taji. Lord Shiva is saying that this Sati, even though she's erred, let me introspect in my life. I am trying to see what? The good in Sati. Right? She is too pure to do what? To abandon. This is Lord Shiva's words to himself. He's reminding himself of what he should do. He should not give up on a friend. This is what we do also. When a friend goes the wrong path, we tend to do what? Give up on him. We tend to write them off. When a child doesn't act a certain way, what do? We speak words of curse to them. Not curse words, but we say, you're never going to amount to anything. You are worthless. I've heard these words before. I'm not sure. I don't think it happens here. Okay? But what should we do? Uncle raises his hand. Ritesh, sorry, okay? This is the thing. So what should we do? We should speak blessings over our children and also to our adults also. Lord Shiva reinstates the fact that if he gives up on this sati, his duty as what? A husband or a friend or a guru is unfulfilled. No matter how bad we are, my dear friends, God and Guru will never give up on you. This is the thing. We think we've sinned. We think we're sinners, okay? I'll be the first one to admit that I get angry. I get upset. I get jealous. Even though we say that we shouldn't let these negative emotions get the best of us, I'm a work in progress. Whip, it is called in accounting terminology, right? I am a work in progress. You are a work in progress. The only person who is perfect is who? The person who has transcended the field of perceiver, feeler, thinker and has gotten away from his emotions that bind him away. And such a person is called what? A yuktified individual, right? We've coined that term this past couple days. Yuktified means what? Yuktified means one with an integrated personality. What does integration mean? When you allow your intellect to override any instinctual urge of the mind that is based in where? The body. Okay? So as you go throughout life, if you can have this intellect, you are pointing your way straight to what? Paramatma. And Lord Shiva here, he is the Paramatma in our life. He is the unchanging peace that shows us the example of how to live. Don't give up on your Shishya. Don't give up on your devotee. God and Guru is saying. Okay? Don't give up on your children. Don't give up on your parents. I remember when I was first learning how to sing. It wasn't a pretty picture. It never is. Anything that's new, remember this, is hard at first. Sometimes for some people, walking the correct path in life is hard because they were never introduced to that. But if you can be that person to show another person the right way, if you stand up for your beliefs, guess what you gain in the result? You gain tremendous satisfaction from seeing that person correct himself. Isn't that true at Bal Vihar? Those of you who are Bal Vihar teachers. When your children perform to the best at the cultural show, how do you feel? Like $1 million, isn't that true? You people who are in chick, right? When you help each other out and that person comes to you and says, from your advice, I have gained tremendous peace in my life. How do you feel as a result of that? $1 million, isn't that right? You know what I tell people in New York? I say, don't give me dakshina. Don't give me dakshina. Just tell me what I'm telling you, what I'm teaching you, has benefited your life. And that you are practicing it. That alone is $1 million. You see? Doesn't mean you don't give Guru dakshina to the temple, okay? This is to support the temple. Don't give me personally. I don't want that. What I want is you to continue to do what? To grow in the information I've given you. Okay? Parama punita na jai taji ke prema bad papu. I, Lord Shiva speaking, I find Sati too pure to give up. Why? Because she's an innocent child. But if I show her the same care and love I did before, I will be erring what? Deeply. And this is something, especially for the youngsters, okay? When someone proves to be distrustful one time, how many times? Yes. Say it louder, everyone. Did I say 2 times? 3, 4, 5? No, 1 time. Understand that you must keep that person where? If at all they must be in your life. At arm's length. It only takes 1 instance. And you know, befriending people is very easy. It's very, Facebook especially. All you have to hit is add friend. And if you're blessed like Balaji, that option is disabled for some people. So many people ask Balaji, how come you haven't friended me yet? He says simply, that option is disabled for me. All I do is keep up with all of you. You see, that's the smartest way. So in life, we must be very, very careful who we're befriending. Why? Because disappointment galore happens these days. Especially in the age that we're in. What is the age? Kali Yuga. Where people seem one way, but on the contrary, they are another way. Okay? We won't get into that. Pragati na kahata maheshu kachu. And this is another point that we made the other night. Pragati na kahata maheshu kachu. Lord Shiva, in his plight, in his difficulty, what did he do? Did he tell people? And when I say people, I'm saying Tom, Dick, and Harry. Who do we usually tell when we have problems? We tell our friends, not trust her yet. We tell people who we consider to be what? Fair weather friends, especially youngsters again. This talk is geared towards the youngsters. And I get, you know who's a youngster? Anybody under 100 years old is a youngster. You know why? Because people who are 95 years old today, they are more dynamic than 16-year-olds. They are more energetic. I've seen it myself. My own Dadaji is 95 years old. And he walks 2 miles a day. I can't even walk quarter mile. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah? So when we see here that Maheshji, Lord Shiva, went into silence, what does that mean? He kept his information, his problems, to himself first. He meditated upon it. But you know what we should do as people? We should seek the advice of qualified people to share our problems with. Counseling is a good thing. In our culture, people hesitate to go for this counseling. Marriages suffer because of this. Children suffer because of this. Why? Because they are too shy about their problems. Sometimes reaching outside of the home for help is a good thing. It saves marriages and it saves the relationships of children with each other. So in life, don't be afraid. Seek the help of qualified people. Seek the help of elders. Seek the help of Swamijis. These people are here to help you, and you must take advantage of that. Never feel shy. Never feel disturbed. Why? Because someone has went through the same problem you have. And guess what? Chances are that person surmounted the problem. No problem is insurmountable. Every single problem has what? A solution if you put your mind to it. So what does this mean? First, he kept it to himself. He analyzed the situation. He said to himself, how can I get past this? Through stop methodology. Okay, I added that part. But something like this happened. He analyzed. But if you look at the hidden import, if Maheshji was one of us, he would have done what? He would have consulted the right people. If you tell the wrong people, remember we saw? The whole gym class will know the next day your problems. And you don't want that to happen, trust me. So do yourself a favor. Either tell Bhagavan, because Bhagavan is listening. I want to tell all of you today that Lord is watching. Remember I asked you, for those of you who weren't here, who painted the Mona Lisa? Not Leonardo DiCaprio, okay? Leonardo da Vinci, yeah? Don't be like that person in New York. Who created that beautiful flower that is on Hanumanji's neck? Or who created this beautiful human body? So intricate. A human being cannot be replicated no matter how much you try in a test tube. Okay? Who created this? It has to be done by a higher power, isn't that true? In the Bhagavad Gita, what did we see? We saw that Bhagavan Krishna wants us to know him where? In the sapidity or the wetness of water. The essential nature of water or the essential nature of everything. Know that to be God. God is everywhere. He is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. He is everywhere. If only you would acknowledge him, that is when the presence is felt in your life. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. When you're in your quiet moments, you have a conversation with God. You tell God, oh Lord, thank you for this new day. Thank you for my troubles, and thank you for the good things in my life. Why? Because through problems and difficulties, what happens? We grow as people, isn't that right? Imagine if you never had a problem. Would you ever grow? This is as simple as that. If you have good times, you attribute that to him. But you must have one thing. What is it? That Lord Shiva has. Can you repeat after me? Samatva Buddhi. Samatva Buddhi. Samatva Buddhi means the ability to be equanimous in good times and in bad times. And if you want to see a definition of that, chapter 12, verse 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Pragati na kahata mahesu kachu hirdaya adhika santapu. And in the process, Lord Shiva became what? Tremendously hurt. He was still hurt. But then what happened? Tava Shankar Prabhu Pada Siru Nava. Where did Lord Shiva bow before? Do you remember? When he first went through the problem, what did he bow to? He bowed to the illusory power of what? Maya. He saw that Sati's deceit towards him was caused by what? His own Maya, Sri Ram's Maya. And what is Maya? Yamasa iti Maya. That which is not there, that which is illusory, that which is what? Deceiving us to act in a way that we would never act in a million years. This is Maya. And because of that, Parvati acted a certain way that she shouldn't have. And in life, we must understand, again, Sati is not a bad person. She is showing us how to live. She is showing us what not to do. And the first thing we should never do is what? Go to the ones we love in deceit. Okay? If I say I love you, mom, I love you, dad, or the mother and father love the son and daughter, they should be what? Very straightforward with each other. If there's something bothering someone in the family, what should you do? Keep it to yourself? You should express it. Only then do you do what? Do you combat any challenge that is outside? If it is not squared away at home, I'll tell you what happens. That child will go to somewhere else for that problem to be solved. And chances are, that person will not help them. As a matter of fact, they will make the problem worse. So I hope you're understanding what Sati's example is doing for us. It's showing us how to live life effectively in the face of a trial, in the face of a tribulation, in the face of a situation that we don't want to be in. Okay? Tava Shankara Prabhu Pada Sirunava. Now Lord Shiva bows to somebody else. Is he wallowing in his pain? Is he wallowing in depression like we all do at sometimes? When something bad happens to us, what's the first thing we do? We go into our bedroom, lock the door, and we pull that comforter over our heads. And we pray tomorrow doesn't come. Or you know what else people do? They pop open a bottle of something black or something like that. I don't know what it is. And then they start drinking that. Like if that's going to help their problems. As a matter of fact, that will make the problem worse. Why? Because not only are you going to get a headache the next day, not only is your bank account going to run dry because of that, what's going to happen? The same problem that you were escaping by drinking that is going to do what? Is going to face you the next day. And you know, a lot of our college kids, not you guys, but college kids that don't have an ounce of spirituality in them, they have another spirit in them. They go this path. And then what do they try to do? They try to influence our good kids into doing that. So what you have to do as a youngster is do what? You have to really keep your guard up. You have to be extra vigilant, especially these days and age. Okay? Because Maya is waiting to do what? Snatch you away if you are not careful. Okay? In the problems, Lord Shiva didn't look for any other solution than what? Bhagavat Kripa. What did he do? Tava Shankara Prabhu Pada Sirunava. Anytime we're in difficulty, you just say, oh Lord Hanumanji, you see that beautiful Hanuman that just stands there? It's not just a picture to look at. It's a picture to remind you of the presence of a higher power that we sometimes forget in our life. Why? Because he is not seen most of the time. When you can say, I know you're not seen, but I know you're there. Guess what? That Lord is the first one to come to your rescue when the times are wrong. And if you don't believe me, again, try it yourself. Sumirata Ramu Hridaya Asaava. This Lord Shiva made a resolve while remembering Bhagavan. You know, it is only possible to do something after something wrong happens. It's only possible to do something effective after the fact when your mind is what? At peace. Isn't that true? And when you remember the Lord's name, you say this. Ram 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 Now I have a question for you. How did you feel during that chant? How did you feel? You feel peaceful, isn't that true? You feel calm. Only with a peaceful, calm mind, especially after a long day in the office, where the boss gave you trouble all day. Especially at school when you have finals going on. Or you're trying to apply for colleges and you're so anxious. What is the thing that you have to do? You have to pacify the mind somehow, isn't that true? What is the best way? Kirtanam. What you just did is one of the most effective ways to quiet your mind. So with a mind that is quiet, Lord Shiva made a sankalpa. Ehi tan satihi bhed mohi nahi. Sati took the form of another person, Sita, and then Lord Shiva promised himself again, I am not going to love her the same way. Siva sankalpo kinha manamahi. And in his mind, because he was firm in his belief, because he was true to himself, because he didn't compromise who he was, and because he was calm in the mind, what happened? He was able to make a firm resolve. And this is what we have to do in life. We can't be wishy-washy, wishy-washy. That takes us nowhere. We can't have our foot here and our foot there, good and bad. We have to do what? We have to stand on the right path, even if it means what? Keeping some people that we have considered friends in the past at arm's length again, okay? Then what? Lord Rama writes in this beautiful chapter. Asavichari Shankaru Mati Dhira. With this sankalp firm in his mind. Mati Dhira. Can you say that word for me? Mati Dhira. And the beautiful thing of Ramayana, especially Tulsi Ramayana, every single word has what? A hidden significance. Every single word has something that we can practice to better our life. If at all you wanted any type of mind management technique, you go to either the Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana. In life, if you want to be a true champion, none of you should be a leader. A follower. What should you do? You should be a leader. In a place like the ashram, all of you should be what? Servants. You know what I have as my job description on Facebook? If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see servant. That's it. Some people have CEO, this, that. That's fine. I'm just a servant of Bhagavan. I'm a servant of Puja Gurudev. I'm a servant of my parents. I'm a servant of my community. When you are a servant of these people, guess what happens? You learn from them. And when you learn from them, you become empowered. And when you become empowered, you have what? The qualifications to lead. None of us are insignificant. Never let anyone tell you you're insignificant. Never let anyone tell you you can't. The reason you were born, and we'll see this on Sunday in the Power of Now talk, the reason you were born was for something great, and it's up to you to aim deep inside to discover what that is. How do we do that? We'll see Sunday. Asavichari Shankaru Mati Dhira. But to get to that stage, what do we have to do? Say this word for me. Mati Dhira. Have a strong, steadfast mind. And what is a strong, steadfast mind? Again, when the mind and intellect are yuktified or integrated. Or when the intellect has a firm hold on the mind. You see, if the intellect doesn't have a firm hold on the mind, guess what happens? I drive myself crazy. Thoughts of suicide come into the picture, which is very rampant amongst young people. What I tell them is, listen, if you need someone to talk to, you find that person. But a trustworthy person. And also, remember, tomorrow is a new day. We went over that. Yeah? Chale bhavana sumirata raghuvira. And then what did Lord Shiva do? He walked home. He didn't take the bus. Wherever he was, he took a walk to where? Kailas. This is what we have to do. Whenever faced with a problem, you know what is the best way to nullify the effects? To temporarily get rid of it from your mind? Take a long walk.